And so now, because I didn't have a phone, because remember, my dad had given me the phone privilege before it was confiscated again, I would always use it to call my mom, right? So now I don't have any phone anymore. So of course I wasn't hearing from my mom. And so when I do hear from my mom, it was on my dad's phone or my stepmom's phone when they were around, because they're always on tour. When I'm speaking to her, they would always be there in the vicinity. So it's not like I could go away and hide to speak to my mom to tell her everything that was going on and how my dad was treating me, you know. So what they would do is just stand and listen to our conversation. So I had to be pretending that I was happy on the phone whilst they were there, and knowing good and well that I was not happy. I was suffering. It was like a long-standing suffering. I was suffering a lot. I was suffering so much to the point where I was depressed and I did not even know that I was depressed. Yes, that's how deep it got. And I was depressed because also I was sexually deprived, and I was getting battered and bruised for the simplest of things from my dad, you know. I remember one day they asked me to make some eggs, because at the time I had helpers and I was living with my guardian. My mom would ensure that we have helpers, all of that, right? So we had helpers to do everything: cook, clean, wash, every single thing that you could think about. We had helpers, back-to-back helpers. I didn't have to do much, and of course I'm not gloating over it, because of course as a female I had to learn how to do things. But thank God for His grace and His mercies, I did learn how to cook, clean, wash, every single thing. So I am very much well-rounded, thanks be to God. We had their helpers, so we didn't have to do much. So I remember as I'm living with my stepmom and my dad now, they had asked me, so my stepmom had asked me to make some breakfast. And mind you, they know that we had helpers, so they know that I wasn't cooking or I wasn't doing much things, right? When I cook the egg, I cook it where the yolk was runny. And I love my eggs like that. I don't know, some people do love it. They call it the sunny side up. But yeah, anyways, at the time I did not know what it was called, but I knew that I loved when my egg yolk was runny. So I thought that, okay, I love it, so everybody must love it like that too, right? Put the eggs. When I cooked the eggs and shared the breakfast, and then they took the sandwich up and that, instantly everyone, my dad, my stepmom, I think my stepmom's sister was there, my siblings and my two sisters, and then some other people was in the yard as well. And everyone just, as soon as they heard my dad or my stepmom was the first one who made the explosive comments. What is this? And dropped it, and then my dad followed suit, and then everybody followed suit. And then they threw away the breakfast, and just the embarrassment of it. And they started embarrassing me instead of bringing me to the side and saying, Shay, that's not how you do it, da da da. It was just I became a laughing stock for everybody at the time in the yard, and as well, like, they were sharing it to other people that didn't need to be involved in the conversation, right? Anyway, so over a little time, I became so scared of my dad to the point where I could not even express myself to him anymore. I could not speak to him on anything that I was feeling or undergoing. Now, September came and it was a new school term, and now I was in grade 8. So now I've moved on to grade 8, and I remember going to school. So remember, I didn't have any phone now, and so I couldn't wait for school to reopen so I could borrow my friend's phone to, call my mom. And I would share everything that was going on, the things that I was undergoing, the pressure that I was under from my dad and from my stepmom and everyone, It was just, I started offloading and unloading, and I was crying, I'm in tears. And my mom said, I knew that something was just off with you because, I'm not hearing from you. And it was just every time when I tried to call them, they're not taking my phone call. And I said, well, to be fair, Mom, they're always on tour. But she said, yeah, but even so, they know that I still have to speak to you, and they haven't leave me anyone else's number to communicate with you on. And I said, yeah, I know. And so I was telling her what was going on, and I said for the whole summer holidays, this was the things that was happening and stuff like that. Of course, I left out the part where I was talking to a grown man on the phone. Yeah, because I wanted her to feel sorry for me. I was going through the moments, don't get me wrong, I was going through the moments. It didn't stop the fact that I was still being mentally, physically, and emotionally abused. I was, irrespective of what I was doing, I was still going through them. So I'm not going to dismiss that aspect of it, even though I know that I was the one who was putting myself in the situation. But again, things just happened. It was just something that I did not call on myself. But as you guys see, you'll see how things was working out. As I said, at this point, it would be 9 months now since I'm living with my dad. And my mom knows everything that's going on now. So she was now eager to come to Jamaica. But she wouldn't have come to Jamaica until like the October or the November of that same year. Now we would have been in September. So it would just be 2 months before she was able to come to Jamaica to see me. So when she did call me now on video call on my dad's phone or my stepmom phone, she would see me and she would say, "Shay, you look so slim. You're not eating." So anyways, I look slim for some reason. And for me, my dad did not like chubby. My dad liked when women are slim and kept trimmed. So that's how my dad saw it fit for me to look. But not to say that I was being starved. My dad did not starve me of food. He ensured that I ate. So yes, anyways, I was more stressed out. That's why I was shedding weight, and I wasn't eating as how I should eat because I was really, really depressed. But I did not realize that I was depressed at the time. So yeah, but my mom could have instantly sensed that I was unhappy because of course I expressed it to her, but when she's on the phone, but when she saw me on video call, she knew, yeah, this does not seem right. It doesn't sit right. Yeah. The way how I was unhappy, my face, it started showing on my face as well. So I had acne all over my face. So my face was filled with lots of blackheads and bumps that, you know, pus or whiteheads was oozing out of. So my face would be filled with that. My body would fill with blackheads and everything. And it's like because I was so stressed. But of course, my dad decided that he wanted to give me medications, and they got me this 3-in-1. It was it called? Is it Dr. something? I'll link it in. And that helped. So yeah, I think they discontinued that line, but that line, that helped. My mom came to Jamaica, and then now she came over to my dad's place. Everything, you know, they were all acting very happy. And I was acting like I was happy because remember, they don't know that I had phoned her at school and told her everything. They thought that, you know, everything was okay. She was just coming to just visit like normal or something like that, right? Not knowing that she had an agenda to move me from there because she realized that I'm not happy and she could not be happy away in the UK and knowing that I'm suffering. As I said, she was trying to talk to my dad without letting him know that I already had filled her in on everything. And my dad was just making it seem as if, no, everything is okay. Shay, you're good, right? You're okay. You're okay, my daughter. So he was talking to me like that. So he was trying to, you know, create a notion like I was actually in good hands. And then I was there like, yeah, yes, dad. Yeah, yes, dad. And then I was hung in my head. But then, of course, my mom could not take it anymore. My mom came out with it. My mom said, listen, I know what's going on. She already told me, you know, and I'm not happy about this. And then, of course, my dad's whole composure and posture changed. Oh, Lord. So then now my dad got hostile and said, okay, well, then if you're not happy with how I'm dealing with her, then you take her then. Did she tell you that she's not behaving herself? So this is his reaction to my mom. And my mom was like, what do you mean? And then, of course, my dad said, oh, so she haven't told you, Shay, why don't you tell your mom what you've been up to? And I was like, oh, Lord. Mind you, this would be after months, you know. This was months after the whole incident when my brother's girlfriend snatched the phone from me, right? So I was thinking, oh my days, please leave this. That situation that occurred, nothing else happened after that. Remember, I was telling you, he was scolding me for things that had nothing to do with any form of man. It was just simple things that, as I said, was I may leave my underwear too long on the line. I would leave a packet of sweet on top of the counter and not put it in the bin mistakenly. So like simple things I would get in boxed up or, you know, punched up for. But he doesn't realize that that was where it was all coming from, just the little simple things that he was targeting me for. But he was making it seem as if that his behavior warrant because of that situation that occurred about 4 months prior. So my mom said, I'm coming for her tomorrow. And then my dad said, yeah, do that. So my mom left because she realized that my dad was getting hostile. At this point, my stepmom was not getting involved because, she was there in the kitchen cooking and pretending like she's not involved. I'm not blaming her. I'm just saying, just a disclaimer. I'm not blaming her. My dad decided that he's going to change his mind and he's not going to let me go. He called my mom and he was adamant, listen, don't come for her. She's not going anywhere. She's staying right here. This is where she needs to stay. This is where she will behave herself and be the child that she is. And instantly when I hear all of that, I started crying in my heart because deep down, I didn't show that I was crying, but I was crying in my heart. And when I moved away, I started crying. Like I walked away and I started crying because I want to leave. I wanted to leave so much to the point where I wanted my mom to go above and beyond. Because at the time my dad was a bully, like for real, like everyone was scared of my dad at that time. Even now, some people still are, but I am not. I've grown out of it. Now me and my dad talk. Me and my dad, we are good. We're in very good, best of relationship now, right? And of course, every chance my dad gets right now, he apologizes for the way he used to treat me but nonetheless, we're not going to jump the gods. We're going to keep in the motion. My mom was adamant that no, I'm not going to leave her there. I'm coming. We already agreed and I'm coming. My mom still come. Yeah. My mom said, nope, I'm coming. My mom came. Yeah. My mom came with a big size van as well as with my aunt, as well as some other people that came with us as well. And my dad was not having it. My dad did not want to open the gate to let my mom in. And so now you guys will see the continuation of this story. So please guys, stay tuned for volume 5, part 1. Thank you.